2017 PGA Merchandise Show continues as we take a trip down Technology Lane. Probably the best, hottest technology out there, but probably the most useful technology out there. We're here at the Arccos booth with our friend Jason Fortin. Jason, great seeing you.
Great seeing you.
Take us down Technology Lane here, because this is something really unique, but it's really useful.
Yeah, so we just formed a new partnership with Microsoft where we've developed developing this course analyzer. Basically, at Arccos, we're taking all the data that we have. We have recorded 50 million shots of users, and we have 40,000 courses mapped throughout the world. And so, based on that information, where we know the course, we know the hole, we know elevation, we know the user's tendencies and their distances, we can map out an optimal strategy. So what I'm going to do here is take you through A-Man Corner. We're going to take you through two holes of A-Man Corner with two very different players. On the one hand, we have Frank, who has over 200 rounds logged into the Arccos system. He's a 13 handicap, and he hits the ball about 208 off the tee. This actually happens to be my data here. As you guys know, I play a fair amount of golf. I have over
3.2. I'll put you in my next scramble team. Yeah.
Okay. I have over 100 rounds logged into the system, and in terms of the differences in style, I'm a little bit longer hitter off the tee, and so we'll sort of take you through the strategy of Amen Corner.
And now the Arccos technology, again, it fits on the butt end of your golf club, and you're in the second generation of this, right? Yeah.
Basically put 14 sensors. These are sensors here. You can see, Tom, they're really lightweight. You put them on the end.
Oh, yeah.
It's a one-time pairing process where it distinguishes that the driver, this is the sensor for the driver, this is the sensor for the 3-wood. Then the beauty is you just go to the golf course, you turn on the Arccos app. And
phone is in your front pocket, right?
Front pocket, and set it and forget it. You don't have to think about it. There's no behavior change. You don't have to tap anything. It records everything automatically, every shot on the course. And so the beauty with all this data now is it's got my information. We're here on the 11th hole of Augusta National. It's pretty steep. It's a downhill. As you know, there's a lot of elevation at Augusta. This one goes downhill. And so the interesting thing, if I hit my driver here, and we're playing the members tees, by the way, you notice based on my distances, the fairway actually opens up pretty dramatically here. So I've got a 55% chance of hitting the fairway. Normally I'm more of a 40% in terms of hitting fairways. But here, based on the course, based on my typical distances, driver's the way. And then when I come into the green with a 56-degree wedge in my hand, you can see there's trouble here. There's water. There's a 2% chance I go in the water here. 0.4 I go long into the creek, but 72% chance I get in the greens regulation. So based on the information and this machine learning algorithm, I have an expected score of 4.3. So the interesting thing, a lot of times people think, well, I got to play conservative. If you do that strategy here, the interesting thing is if I take a 3 hybrid, notice that the fairway is actually narrow. There's only a 42% chance I'm in the fairway, even though I'm hitting the safer club. Actually, driver is the optimal strategy here. And then you see then, if you come into with a 7-iron into the green, obviously I was more 70% greens, and now it's 46. The water comes more into play.
So you can help manage your game when you're on the tee as far as this hole.
World's smartest caddy, and save a half a stroke by going the optimal strategy. And the beauty of this is not, people think, I want to play smart, I got to lay up on everything. That's not the case. We're figuring out the optimal strategy, not the conservative strategy. Because in this case, the conservative strategy actually leads to the higher score. So that's the 11th hole. The 13th hole is significantly uphill. There's about 30 yards of elevation there. So even though I'd like to go to Augusta and reach the green in 2 like all those guys, the problem is when I hit my drive, there's about a 58% chance I'm going to end up in the pine straw.
Because you hit it out there about 260 and you move it a little bit left to right.
And so it's narrow here. And so here's the other problem is Microsoft has figured out that I'm not as good as Phil Mickelson. So when I hit out of this area, it's more likely 36% chance I'm going to be in the water, only an 18% chance to be on the green. So an expected score of 5.3. Really, the optimal path here is to hit the 3-wood. Got a 59% chance of hitting the fairway, lay up with a 6-iron, and then come into with a 56, and now that water comes less into play. I have an expected score of 4.9, save point 4 strokes. So those are two different holes. But obviously we have different people out there. So let's go to Frank, who's a very different player. When you go to Frank, if you remember my strategy, the recommended strategy was to hit a driver. Now with Frank's distance, when he hits a shot, it's a 45% chance that he's going to be in the fairway. Problem is now he goes for the green, you got the water there. If he goes for the green with a 5-wood, there's really only a 6% chance he's going to be on the green. Much more likely he's going to be swimming with a 32% chance of being in the water. So really, Frank is a great chipper. Really the optimal strategy for Frank is to hit a 3-wood off the tee, 63% chance getting the fairway, hits his 4 hybrid, and basically takes the water out of play. There's only a 1% chance he goes in. There's only a 9% chance he hits the green, but really ends up here and then chips on, and he's basically made a bogey at Augusta National and should be pretty happy with that. 4.9 expected score versus 5.5. And then back to the par 5. In my case, it was recommending that I go with a 3-wood and layup. The problem is if he goes the conservative route, he does a 5-wood. Yeah, he does a 5-wood again, and then he's got an 8-iron into the green. The water is 16% chance come to play. There's less than a 50% chance he hits the green. In his case, which is opposite of mine, is we recommend he hits the driver. Remember, it's significantly uphill. Hit a 3-wood, and then coming into the green, he's now almost a 70% chance of hitting the green in regulation, 5.6 versus 6.
Much better chance of making par than obviously going to make bogey or worse when he goes the other way. Let me ask you one question as we close, Jason. You said one word, and it was Microsoft. Talk about that partnership with Microsoft.
So we've partnered with Microsoft, and together we're jointly developing these machine learning algorithms that will come up with this, and like I said, will be more available in April for our users. Harnesses our data, like I said, the course data and stuff, and just comes up with these algorithms to, as I said, come up with the world's basically smartest caddy.
It's Arccos, the world's smartest caddy, probably the most useful technology in golf. Make sure to check it out. Jason Fortin, thanks again.